Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. Mother Nature continues to wreak havoc with many communities still dealing with flooding.
And we got flooded 3 times in the past 8 years, so there's a problem.
We'll have the latest on the weather and the cleanup now involved. Plus, tax deadline day for most of us is quickly approaching.
There are some measures that are in place that will help folks who are experiencing difficulty.
The CRA says there is help for those dealing with flooding. And today was the National Day of Mourning.
How do we make our workplaces safer so that we are not seeing those injuries?
Advocates are pushing for more resources in the name of health and safety.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for staying up with us tonight. Rain, go away. Today's rain wasn't great news for those dealing with imminent flooding. Communities like French River, which are continuing to monitor river conditions. CTV's Angela Campbell starts us off tonight with more from Albin.
It's going to dry up, but
if not for the water flooding his business, Claude Lacasse would have been busy getting ready to open for the summer. That's now delayed.
You worry about the wood, the structure of the wood and all that. That's all buckling, and the shop is a cement floor, so that's going to wash out underneath.
Owned by the Lacasse family for the past 67 years, the French River Supply Post and Marina currently sits under a foot of water. It's hard to tell where the parking lot ends and the river begins. This isn't the first time the business has been flooded. Our cameras were here in 2019 when similar flooding made its way inside the structure. But despite the challenges, Claude has been running the business since the 90s when he took it over from his parents.
They never got flooded, and then we got flooded 3 times in the past 8 years. So there's a problem. Hopefully somebody's solved. We can blame Mother Nature, but I'm pretty sure there's a problem further up somewhere.
He's referring to water being released from dams upstream in the watershed.
It's a challenge in working together with all of our partners in the watershed system to try to equalize the burden on everybody in the flood levels.
After 2 weeks under the state of emergency, the municipality of French River reports conditions to be stable. The impact from today's rain won't be known for a few days. But there's another added concern: recreational boaters out on the water.
Last weekend, we had boaters on the river who were making lots of wakes, and one of those big wakes tore down a wall of sandbags for a property, which meant that that property got flooded.
Along with the warning to boaters to drive respectfully on high waters, the community is also reminding motorists there are still a number of roads that are closed and impassable due to flooding. Angela Campbell, CTV News, Albin.
A flood warning has now been issued along the Ottawa River near Mattawa. The MNR saying today the river between Lake Timiskaming and the east boundary of Papineau-Cameron Township is expected to rise, affecting Mattawa and Lake Nipissing. Water levels of Mattawa are expected to reach the start of damage level in the next few days. Lake Nipissing is not expected to exceed non-damage levels, but the warning remains in effect for areas along the shoreline, including Callander and North Bay. North of Sault Ste. Marie, where the Hope in Goulet River is that the worst of this spring's flooding is behind the community. Officials say water levels haven't been this high in decades. High water levels and road washouts, the result of record snowfall seen this winter, are creating havoc. Right now, there are just a handful of roads submerged under river water, including this one near Kirby's Corner. At the end of last week, the Goulet Fire Department requested assistance from the Sault Emergency Services Unit. 7 boats were patrolling to ask residents if they needed to be evacuated.
Most years, we always do the door-to-door when we have roads underwater to see if people want to be evacuated. Most of the time, nobody wants to come. This year, we did actually evacuate quite a few people that did want to come out. So there was a lot of homes affected. It was recent as yesterday, I still seen basements being pumped out.
Adding to the stress on the local fire department this spring, in April it responded to 53 emergency calls, besting the all-time high of 28. Now to Muskoka. Through the worst of the flooding seems to have passed. Some communities are back above water just yet. Here's CTV's Mike Lang.
Although Tuesday was another rainy day, most flooded areas in Bracebridge have dried up from what's been the worst flood season since 2019.
The visual inspections show that we're down considerably in terms of water levels, so that's a welcomed relief for the folks that have been impacted.
As snowpack and ice melt have become less of a factor, problem areas such as River Road have improved remarkably over the weekend. All roads are now open in the town and across the district.
Now we're starting to look at recovery mode.
The town is offering multiple disposal sites for the 25,000 used sandbags, while the district is helping get rid of flood-related debris.
Just go online and fill out a little bit of information, and then you can drop off any flood-related debris for free.
However, not all areas are out of the water yet.
So the water was all the way up the driveway.
John Laud and others who live near the Bracebridge boat launch still have parts of the elevated Muskoka River on their properties.
My dock was in danger of being washed down the river, so I had to secure the dock and just hold it kind of as best I could.
While Laud's home wasn't hit the hardest, he's been collecting plenty of flood debris and lending a hand to his neighbors.
My neighbors couldn't even get to their property, so they've been parking in my driveway and up on the laneway.
Lower level areas around Bala and Muskoka Lakes also continue to be impacted.
Further down the watershed, the longer it takes and the more severe the flooding can be. So we still got people affected.
The district confirms the 4 people who needed to be evacuated have been able to return home. The financial impact for the town and district is not yet known. Like with any major weather event, the town will be holding a debrief to review its response to this year's flooding and will be looking at impacted areas of infrastructure to assess and repair the damage that's been caused. Mike Lang, CTV News, Bracebridge.
We're about 48 hours away from the deadline to file a 2025 personal income tax return for most Canadians. And for those dealing with flooding, there are resources available at the Canada Revenue Agency.
There are some measures that are in place that will help folks who are experiencing difficulty, right? If you have flooding in your home and you're not able to access your information, maybe you're not able to file on time. And if you are going to incur late filing penalties or interest on arrears because of that, it is possible to have those canceled, to have those waived based on hardships that are outside of your control. So there is a process for applying for that. The details are on our website. You can apply through your CRA account.
But Cheminsky warns that process normally takes about 6 months, and this year, because of a high volume of those requests, it could take longer. His best suggestion, file on time if you can. Excuse me, even with items missing, you can make adjustments after the fact. He says even a partial return is better than not filing. And for those of you who are self-employed, you do have until June 15th. And if you find yourself owing, it's still due by April 30th. In other news, the province launched its roadmap to protecting Ontario's forest sector today, all in a bid to help the sector deal with punishing American tariffs. CTV's Lydia Chubak reports.
The province says its roadmap to protecting Ontario's forest sector focuses on defending workers, communities, and businesses by working with the federal government to reduce the impact of American tariffs and duties.
Last year, we put on almost 10,000 kilometers across the province, engaging with the sector communities and Indigenous partners about what they saw we needed to be doing and how we needed to be adapting to what the realities of today are.
Holland says more details about the plan will be released in the next few weeks. The Federation of Northern Ontario Municipalities says action is needed as soon as possible.
We were talking about building houses a year ago, and here we are talking about building houses a year later. And you know, we had problems in the forest industry for the last 10 years. Now it's time to act, and I think it's important to be bold. It's sometimes communicating what needs to be communicated, and not everybody's going to be happy.
The province says it's already invested $350 million into the sector since 2020. But Ontario's NDP Shadow Minister for Natural Resources and Forestry says now would be a good time to create certainty for fibre markets with tools like power purchase agreements.
We have a lot of fibre available with biomass and the chips that we produce. It would stabilize it. If we could get that, it would stabilize sawmills. It would stabilize other industry that are so dependent on getting rid of their chips. Yet this government is not willing to give them power purchase agreement. It is sad.
The province says 1 in 4 communities in Northern Ontario rely on the forest sector, and adds this roadmap was developed keeping them in mind, but says the plan is for the entire province. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
Today is the National Day of Mourning, a day to honor workers killed, injured, or suffered illness from their work. This year in Sudbury, the main theme is psychological health and safety in the workplace. CTV's Elena Eversing reports.
Because I know what it's like to sit in that place.
Third-generation miner Mickey O'Brien shares his story of recovering from 10 years of substance abuse, alcoholism, and drug addiction. He is now 6 years sober and was a guest speaker at the Day of Mourning.
We need more resources for people. People are waiting over 4 months, sometimes over a year to see a psychiatrist. There's not enough treatment centers. When someone finally does make the commitment to get into treatment, sometimes they're not in there for 6 months to a year. I'm sure a lot of people pass away during that time.
Unions are highlighting psychosocial health and safety as a critical workplace issue.
We represent paramedics, we represent nursing professions, we represent educational assistants. All of these professions highly subjected to workplace violence, highly subjected to trauma, highly subjected to the kinds of disabilities that put them off for years.
How do we make our workplaces safer so that we are not seeing those injuries, those mental health injuries happening? And it's happening in every sector. It's happening in private, it's happening in public, it's happening in the trades. And it's an issue that's becoming epidemic in nature.
O'Brien is a union rep and wants people to mean it when they ask someone if they are okay.
Say if someone's acting out of character or something like that, you never know what someone has going on at home. And I've seen people spiral out of control at work when we could have helped them to the point where they were fired. Seen guys end up homeless, lose their houses, lose their wives, fall into drug addiction and alcoholism. You know, some ended up in jail, some of them passed away.
O'Brien says when it comes to psychological health and safety in the workplace, we need to do better. We can do better, and it starts with a collective commitment. Elena Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
The Ontario provincial police officer who died yesterday in a collision on the 401 has been identified. 33-year-old Sergeant Brandon Malcolm had been with the OPP for just 6 years. He was a member of the service's Golden Helmets, a precision motorcycle team. Malcolm was killed in a single vehicle collision on Highway 401 in Cobourg while on duty. The OPP and the coroner's office are investigating the cause of the crash. It's time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Rick will have your full weather forecast. For now, look at the current conditions and no weather warnings, which is really nice for a nice change of pace, to be quite honest. But it is cold. Those are flurries we're actually seeing up and around Kapuskasing. Some sleet action in around Wawa and Chapleau. 3 in Elliott Lake, 5 in Sudbury, 0 in Kapuskasing. Details after the break.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Mixed precipitation is all that remains right now in terms of what we can expect not only overnight, but of course into tomorrow as well in Northeastern Ontario after lots of rain hit the area. Not only last night, but today as well, but that all subsided by about midday into the early afternoon. And now you're going to see the proof in our 7-day forecast. Sudbury Nickel Belt, we've got some cloud here at 6 degrees, but then the sleet arrives for no less than 4 consecutive days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 3, 4, 5, and 7. Not a great weekend. Monday, we've got the chance of showers as things warm up. 9 degrees, your expected high. Meanwhile, in Sault Ste. Marie, a better start to the week. We go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sun and cloud, 5, 6, and 4. Then a turn for, well, some sleet. Either showers or flurries Saturday, Sunday, 4 and 6. Chance of showers on Monday as it warms up. 8 degrees, still far below your normal for this time of the year. How about Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing? Chance of flurries at 6, chance of flurries at 1 on Thursday, chance of flurries Friday, 60%, your high only 0. Then the sleet for 3 consecutive days, 3, 5, and 6. And again, Monday, you're not getting showers. You've got the chance of sleet, and your normal for this time of the year should be 13. You're only getting 6, 5, and 3 for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. How about Timiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake. Cloud cover tomorrow at 7. Chance of sleet on Thursday. Chance of flurries Friday. Back to the sleet Saturday and Sunday at 40%. 5 and 7 your daytime highs. Monday, the chance of showers at 7 degrees. So we're in for a cool spell, at least for the next couple of days. Pretty well up until Tuesday. Things will start to pick up 7, 8, 9 degrees. But again, it's going to be rather cool for this stretch between Thursday and next Monday. And how about North Bay, West Nipissing? Cloud cover an 8 for tomorrow, then cooling off to the chance of sleet Thursday and Friday at 30%. 3 and 4 your highs. High of 5 degrees Saturday, 5 again on Sunday. Chance of sleet both days. And the chance of showers Monday at 30%, warming up to 7 degrees. So, Ian, you'll have to wait to have nature's furnace start turning up by about Monday as things start to peak up really a bit better than what we are about to experience over the course of the next couple of days. It'll be cool and wet across the Northeast. Back to you.
I'm missing the sun already. Thanks, Rick. Well, Sudbury MP Vivian Lapointe has sent a letter to Doug Ford calling on the province to complete the 4-laning of Highway 69 as soon as possible. CTV's Lindsay Alick reports.
MP Lapointe says she recently asked for briefings from the Federal Ministry of Infrastructure and Transportation, wanting to know specifically about timelines.
As it currently stands, the construction to complete Highway 69 is not scheduled to start until 2029. And it wouldn't end until 2037.
She says that's almost 40 years since the provincial government first announced they would 4-lane the highway.
In 2019, the federal government committed $169 million to complete the 4-laning of the highway. And that $169 million in the fund, in the infrastructure fund that it was, requires a 50% equal funding amount from the province. And the province has not yet committed their 50%.
CTV reached out to the Premier's office, but was directed to officials with the MTO, who provided a statement which says, in part, the remaining 68 kilometers are moving through engineering approvals and consultation right now, as we continue to work through the many complexities of this upgrade, adding they remain actively engaged with local First Nations and others to get this work done as quickly as possible.
My understanding is that there are some chiefs that are very eager and keen to complete those talks. They too are very committed and understand the need to keep that highway safe. And so it's just a matter of getting those negotiations done.
The letter says the 4-laning of Highway 69 has been studied, planned, and deferred for too long, adding that the provincial government's delays have caused immeasurable harm to people. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
The Ford government is considering a complete ban on cell phones in schools, as well as restricting access to social media. CTV's Siobhan Morris has details.
They're omnipresent, away from school, on the way to class, and inside, even with rules against them.
They're used far too much. The kids are staring at them constantly.
Students are very, very smart and very capable, but our ability to focus has gone down collectively.
That short attention span, violence, and bullying helped along by phones are on the education minister's radar.
Cell phone use in our schools, elementary and our secondary schools, anywhere on site, has become a problem, so we are considering an outright ban of cell phones on school properties.
Right now, Ontario kids up to grade 6 have to keep phones silent and out of sight during class. Older kids can use them in the classroom when a teacher allows it. The opposition leader likes the idea of keeping phones locked up, but isn't sure keeping them out of the building will work.
Having that cell phone is a connection for parents to keep an eye on their kids and where they're at. And a lot of children, particularly here in the GTA, travel long distances to get to school or have other responsibilities like siblings.
On the street, reactions are mixed.
Don't ban totally because it's a modern society. People need to connect with people.
I didn't grow up with a cell phone, so it's good to kind of focus on the learning, get people engaged in school and not distracted by phones and social media.
I think high schoolers should be able to do whatever they want. I think if you're teaching someone to go into the world, you have to teach them to have accountability for their own actions.
Over the weekend, Manitoba's premier announced plans to ban social media and AI chatbots for kids under 16.
And I think here in Ontario, we have to actually
do something about that. But you know, it comes from actually looking at the problem and trying to understand it.
Educators say that means lots of dialogue, including with students. Without it,
you're setting teachers and parents and students up for more conflict because the underlying causes are not being dealt with.
Ontario's education minister says he's watching what Manitoba's doing and that he's working with the federal government, which is considering nationwide restrictions for young people accessing social media. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
There's more to come tonight on CTV News. For now, let's go to a live shot of the Sudbury Water Tower, which is glowing a beautiful green. This shot courtesy of the Sudbury Wolves ownership group. Why is it green, you ask? Well, we'll explain after this. Stay with us. You're watching CTV Northern Ontario. Northern Ontario's professional basketball team will be looking to defend its throne tomorrow night. After battling back from a 2-game deficit, the best-of-5 championship series between the Sudbury 5 and KW Titans will be decided Wednesday night down in Kitchener. The Basketball Super League defending champs are having a watch party in town while the team is on the road. It takes place at Shoeless Joe's Sports Grill. Tip-off for tomorrow night is 7 p.m. Sudbury's water tower is glowing green this month as a tribute to Organ Donor Awareness Month. The initiative was pioneered by Ashley LaBelle, who became an ambassador for the cause following the loss of her sister Angèle almost 2 years ago. Angèle became the first heart-in-a-box donor in Northeastern Ontario. Now LaBelle, alongside the Irish Heritage Club of Sudbury, is looking to raise funds to replace the city's aging Be a Donor signs.
One person could save up to 8 lives, and tissue donation could save up to 75 lives. And it does not come with age. It does not come with, you know, you could have had cancer, you could have been on chemo, you could have been an addict, you could have been all these things. There's so many misconceptions and myths about organ donation. Our youngest organ donor in Canada, I believe, was like 4 days or 4 months old, and our oldest organ donor in Canada was 96 years old.
LaBelle says there is an event Friday, May 8th at 1 p.m. at the Downtown Library where you can learn more about being an organ donor. Mothers Against Drunk Driving is recognizing 4 police officers in the Northeast region. CTV's Eric Tashner has more from North Bay.
Thank you. Constable Sadie Wagner knows all too well of the lasting impact impaired driving has.
I had a relative of mine get hit at a young age of 5. She was brain damage, unable to walk and talk. She just passed away recently. She was 62.
So she's made it her mission to nab as many impaired drivers as she can.
There's so many different options and ways to get home: taxis, Ubers, call a friend. There's no need to get behind the wheel, whether you're under the influence of drug or alcohol.
She actually had 29 impaired drivers for 2025. She had 11 in North Bay.
Wagner and Constable Shaylin Poulan are 2 of 4 police constables to receive awards from Mad Nipissing for their work in getting drunk or high drivers off the road.
I responded to a few motor vehicle collisions where it was an impaired driver, and thankfully no one else was hurt when that happened.
In the last 10 years, provincial police have investigated over 600 alcohol-related deaths on highways and roads. In 2024, 53 people were killed in impaired driving crashes, 6 in the Northeast.
Impaired driving takes the lives of so many people within our country and our communities, and I want to do everything I can to keep our communities safe.
MAD has recognized local police officers' dedication to the cause for over 25 years.
They don't get enough recognition for the work that they're doing with all their investigations, their traffic stops, their criminal investigations.
In 2022, Statistics Canada reported 57,000 alcohol-impaired driving incidents, continuing a downward trend from 69,000 in 2015.
You know, our job as officers is just to keep our roads safe and do the best we can in doing that.
Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Finally, it was a sweet scene at the Sudbury Food Bank today as some familiar faces traded their microphones for piping bags.
3, 2, 1, go.
Wyman Amanda Hicks and I joined City Councillor Deb McIntosh to put our artistic skills to the test. Rick walked away with the title of Funniest Smile Cookie. The real winners, though, local charities. The money raised from cookie sales in Sudbury this week supports the CTV Lions Children's Christmas Telethon, the HSN Foundation, and the Sudbury Food Bank.
Christmas time, we have the Edgar Burton Food Drive, which fills our warehouse. But at this time of the year, the warehouse is looking kind of empty. So this kind of influx of money and funds into the Sudbury Food Bank is going to ensure that we can buy even more food and fill our warehouse back up.
If you want to help or if you want a snack, Smile cookies are available until Sunday. Make sure your support all goes to a great cause. That takes us to the end of our newscast this Tuesday night. For the latest news anytime, remember you can head to our website, CTV News Northern Ontario.ca. You can also download our CTV News app. Don't forget to check on your neighbors. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.